Thought we'd have a look at infant formula maker Bubs Australia, which has had a massive battering over the last 12 months or so because its fortunes were closely aligned with China. Then sort of those trade restrictions came on, so companies like Bubs and A2 have really taken a hammering. But Bubs says it's launching into the United States with a new home on Walmart.com with the company's flagship goat milk and grass-fed milk formulas, the main offering. The move marks a new push in online sales for Bubs. Its products currently available only on the Australian site of Amazon. Dorsey, what do you think about Bubs? In fact, I'll look up the panel while you're talking.
Okay.
A2 milk went into the calls portfolio in the last week.
That's good.
Because it's been hammered so much.
That's
they
good. Yeah.
reckon it's a turnaround story.
Well, has to turn around sometime, doesn't it? Look, no.
They did say that.
Yeah, no. Well, look, A2, yeah, fantastic story, and I own some at higher levels, so albeit it definitely should look to go further. Bubs is one of those interesting ones because Bubs was one of those businesses many years ago that was looking to get that SAMR, which is the Chinese regulation for them to be able to sell milk or infant formula into China.
Yep.
Now they still haven't got that, and so hence why. And I think, Koshy, you're right. The focus has changed from China, and I think it's great that they're sort of changing focus to the US because certainly that is a massive market, and their announcement today certainly helped the stock rally on the back of that. But I think this one definitely trades by appointment. So in other words, if it's a good announcement, then the stock will rally. But I think there's some long-suffering shareholders in this one. And I think that was probably a negative until that sort of investor base does turn around a little bit. I think it's moving in the right direction. But for me, I wouldn't be buying it here. I'd want to see some earnings starting to come through. It does, it looks picked up a little bit today. But that chart definitely says that there's still further downward pressure. When international people are allowed back into Australia, potentially that might be another catalyst for that because obviously we know the Daigous come in, buy those infant formulas, put it in their backpack and take it home. So that kind of stuff I think is something that we could look to, but yeah, it's too early stages for me to get involved in this.
Interesting, because even at these really low levels, because it was Mark Morland and Scott Phillips who put A2 milk. Now, they're actually quite a good team on the panel because they're very different. Yeah. Sort of Team Invest, Mark Morland is all about the Berkshire Hathaway model and very conservative. Scott's a bit more entrepreneurial in his thinking, but both of them agreed. Yeah. A2 had been battered so much, it was still a good business even without China.
Well, balance sheet is better, management has been changed, so and they've had 4 downgrades now, so it has to definitely turn around. I think Bubs probably a little bit more on that side, needs to change its focus or shift its focus away from that China side of things, and that's what they're doing today, and that's why they're getting a little bit of love on the market.
Okay, James, what do you think?
So A2 Milk has had a bumpy ride, but it's been profitable. Bubs has been listed since 2016. It's never made in its current form. It's never made a profit. It's raised capital every year. Yes, they've had some things that are out of their control, the China thing, for example, but they've also had supply chain issues. How's that going to be fixed moving into selling on Walmart's platform? Does that mean there come a big acquisition and therefore another raising? Possibly. I don't know. I don't own either of them. If I had to own one, I'd own A2 Milk. Right. I can't imagine a circumstance in the current financials of Bubs was
seen as a baby A2 at one stage, didn't it? That was the story behind
it. And their point of differentiating goat milk, those kinds of things.
I'm old enough to remember when Babcock and Brown was seen as a baby Macquarie bean.
I do remember that as well.
No, I remember that too. I did have a Babcock and Brown fund as well, so never again. All right. Okay, so a no on Bubs.